everybody, and welcome back to some daily content. Kind of semi-daily, more like twice weekly. I think I'm going to go to twice weekly. It kind of depends on when I have time to sit down in front of a green screen and talk to myself in a room with nobody else in here. Sometimes it's very lonely and very awkward. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started with this workout. We are off in 3, 2, 1, getting it. What are we doing here? This was after 20.1, before 20.2 got announced. This is between 20.1 and 20.2. I think it's like the Tuesday or Wednesday of 20.2. So here we're doing a 12-minute time cap, okay? 12 minutes to accomplish a 30-calorie bike erg. A 30-calorie bike erg, 40 box jump overs at 24 inches, 50 wall balls at 20 pounds, 150 double unders, and then back through 50 wall balls at 20 pounds, 40 box jump overs, and a 30-calorie bike erg. So overall, you're looking at a 60-cal bike, 100 box jump over, a 60-cal bike, 80 box jump overs, 100 wall balls, and 150 dubs. It's just a pretty much a mashup of everything, right? A big kind of, not really chipper. It's kind of like a mountaintop. We're going up. It's kind of like almost like a chipper, but we're going back down. If you can imagine that. Cool workout. We had it planned for Monday of the redo of 20.1, but the 20.1 just kicked me in the teeth. There's that metaphor. 20.1 was pretty difficult with my legs and my body, so I was like, you know what? I don't need to do this on Monday night. So we saved it for Tuesday night. So that's what we're doing here. Let's talk about ways you guys can scale this workout if you guys do this workout, and then I'll get into how to approach it, right? So ways for scaling this workout. I actually posted a conversion chart for bike erg cal. So if you don't have a bike erg, how to convert calories from a bike erg to maybe if you have an aerosol bike, maybe you don't have an aerosol bike, maybe you have a rower, maybe you have a ski erg. Just essentially it's a conversion chart between all of them, how to connect them all up and compare between calories or meters. I put that in my community tab in my YouTube channel. So if you go to my YouTube channel and there should be a tab on the top that says community, it's kind of like a private Facebook page. Click on that and it should be in there. I want to apologize for it's kind of a very low quality conversion chart picture, but it still works. You can just kind of zoom in, take a screenshot of it, zoom in, it'll get you there. It's really helpful. I use it all the time. So if you don't have a bike erg, you are more than welcome to use a rower or an assault bike, and then use that conversion chart to kind of pick and choose what your rep should be. Box jump overs. If you can't do a 24-inch box for a male, do a 20. It's not a big deal. And if you're a female and you can't do a 20-inch box, use a 16 or a 14, anything lower than that. And then wall balls. Wall balls, my recommendation is this. All of us can probably do a 20-pound wall ball. Very easily we can do a 20-pound wall ball. But what it comes down to is, I don't want you breaking them up so much that you fall behind, right? Like that you break them up so much that you can't finish the workout. So my thing to you is this: if you're gonna do wall balls, if you're gonna do 50 wall balls in this workout, if you have to break like 4 times, then maybe go down to a lower wall ball so you can move. Like I've talked about this in a couple of different workouts where sometimes the weight isn't that important. The weight or the standard isn't that important. We're just trying to get intensity and keep moving as fast as we possibly can. And this is a perfect workout to kind of describe that. This is a workout where I want you to keep, or Andrew wants us, and I want you to keep moving as fast as possible and not too worried. Like you shouldn't have to drop the ball and rest for 20 seconds a couple times. Like that's gonna lose the intensity of the workout and what the goal of the workout is. The goal of the workout is to move boom, 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 boom through as fast as much as possible. And the only rest time is your transitioning period, right? The only rest time is me when I drop the ball and go to the rope and transition. And I believe I actually dropped this wall ball, go to the rope and realize my shoe's untied and I have to tie my shoe first. So that's my rest period. But that's the goal of the workout. So my kind of point is, don't use a wall ball weight that's going to be too heavy that you can't reach that desired intensity. Like if you use a 20 and you have to break it that many times, or if you're a female and you use a 14 and you have to break it that many times, then don't. Just go down a weight. Go down to a 16 if you're a male, or go down to a 10 pound if you're a female. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Here's my rest period. Me tying my shoes. Right now I'm literally yelling at Andrew saying something about the door's been open, like he has the opportunity to beat me now because I'm tying my shoes. So Andrew's actually going to be starting at 5 minutes on the clock. That way, because we only have one bike erg, I didn't want to have to come back and he's stuck on it, or we're sharing a bike erg essentially. So, and then for double unders, obviously if you can't do double unders, do single unders. There's nothing wrong with single unders. Like, to be honest, a lot of people seem to think that, oh, if you can't do double unders, we're going to punish you with single unders and you're going to do double or triple. That's just stupid in my books. I've said that before. It's just a really stupid concept. Like, doubles and singles are usually somewhat the same speed. Winston's just straight up watching me right now like a hawk and licking the box. So there's Andrew. He's going off too. So anyways, like 1-to-1 ratio for doubles and singles. There's no reason to like kill yourself and be like, well, instead of doing 150 dubs, I have to do 300 single unders. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, don't do 300 single unders. That's just way too much. So for approaching this workout, right? So goal for approaching this workout, we looked at it's a 12-minute time cap, which I didn't think was very aggressive. I didn't think it was overly aggressive. We both knew we could finish below 12 minutes probably pretty easily. I think if someone gained this workout and approached it like an open workout with a certain intensity, you could probably break sub 10. I think it's possible. I was very close. I just didn't do it. And I think it really comes down to the bike, your bike speed, and not the beginning bike speed. Like in a workout like this, how you start the workout doesn't really have anything to do with it. I mean, it's important, like you don't suck, but it's not like super important. Like, oh my gosh, you start is not that important. It's how you finish in the bike. Like if you go out the gate ham and you finish super slow, which is what you're gonna kind of see me do. Like if you compare my first bike to my second bike, I think my first bike was a 115, which isn't bad. But I'm curious, and so Andrew finished like a 118 or 117, similar time to me. So I'm actually curious now to see what it looks like on the way back, like what my bike looks like on the way back. And not in terms of what it looks like, I know what it's gonna look like, I'm gonna look slow. But I'm actually curious to see what it looks like in terms of my speed and how I work through the bike, because I was a 115, and if I'm probably lower than a 1, if I'm worse than like a 125, I'd say I failed that portion of the workout, right? Because I want to be able to have some kind of surge at the end. And I realized like right now, it's just me in the barn and Andrew. There's no crowd, nothing on the line, there's no one cheering, but it really shouldn't matter, right? When you do a workout like this, that's very open or sanctional-esque, right? This is a very open-esque type workout. You're moving, it's a chipper. You shouldn't have to have that crowd cheering to really push you on. You should be able to do it yourself. And so I hope I can do that when the time comes. Like that's what we're doing right now. The problem is like, I don't think my bike was as good as it should have been. But approaching this workout, right? Approach the bike in such a way you know you're gonna come back to it, right? That's important. Don't like, I'm gonna crush this bike and I'm gonna kill it. And then you come back and you're just a pile of poo. Like you can't even do it that well. That's not gonna get you anywhere. And then second thing is, the next thing is the box jump overs, right? There's a lot of, I don't think box jump overs are gonna be in the open, but they're important to practice them, and they're important to really warm up your Achilles though. Like a lot of people don't do that, and it's a lot of, you watch, like a lot of me, I'm not really falling to the ground, I'm striking the ground. So if you wanna go a little faster, you have to literally, don't wait for the ground to come to you, you strike the ground with your feet. It's almost like you're kicking the ground, because I'm trying to go over the box as fast as possible. Now, right now, I know that these 40 box jump overs at the end are not gonna be as fast as my first 40 box jump overs, because I already did 100 wall balls, 150 dubs, and 40 box jump overs and stuff. So I realize I'm a little bit more tired, but it should look pretty fast. Right? And of course, the difference between box jump overs is lateral facing, box facing, or lateral facing. If we're gonna go to like a, sometimes, depends what competition you go to, I've seen box jump overs done this way, and I've seen box jump overs done where you do it over the long side of the box, therefore it's a little more of a shuffle on top of the box, and it's just a little bit of a difference. But anyways, and then of course the wall balls. So let's talk about the wall balls. I already kind of mentioned it in terms of like intensity. So let's see here. I start the bike at, we'll say 8:45 just for ease of convenience. So I already know if it's 8:45 that I do not bike near as close as I should have. So if I start the bike at 8:45, I know my first bike was a 115, then I know that if I want to, I can finish sub 10 if I hammer it like I already did the first time. But if you can tell, like my cadence and my RPMs is very low right now. For approaching this workout for wall balls, we've done a lot of these, Andrew and I have, where we don't really do a whole lot of like rounds for time. Like, okay, we're gonna do, a 10-minute AMRAP and there's 20 wall balls in there, and we come back with 20 wall balls a lot. We don't do those like very often. And instead we usually do very, very large sets. We might come back once or twice, And that's essentially the definition of this workout, right? Like we have 2 sets of 50 wall balls, which you'll watch both of us go unbroken with ease. Very, it's very easy for us because we're used to using a 30-pound wall ball, and then you switch to a 20 and it becomes pretty simple. Now, I will say this, you need to be careful when a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to use a 30-pound wall ball, I'm going to get good at a 30-pound wall ball, it's going to transfer over to a 20-pound wall ball, and that's certainly and definitely not the case. Because a 30-pound wall ball will take it takes a little more out of you, and it's a different workout. That's kind of like saying, oh, if I'm good at 135-pound Fran, meaning Fran at 135, I'm therefore good at Fran at 95 pounds. That's not the case whatsoever, right? Just because you're good at 135 doesn't mean you're good at 95. It's completely different. It's like saying, I can snatch 225 a lot, therefore I can snatch 75 pounds, not like Randy. Completely different, right? It's a completely different workout. So I finish at 10-10. That gives me a 125 bike, which actually isn't too shabby. It's actually not bad. I thought maybe if I was past the 130, I know I can bike 20 calories a minute pretty sustainably. And so if I'm biking 30 calories in 130, it's a sustainable pace. Now, at the end of a workout, it's a sustainable pace. At the end of a workout, I should be able to push a little more, and there's my 125. That's not bad. It's not shabby. I mean, I could have probably done a little bit better than bike a little faster. I think if you actually watch Andrew's bike, when he gets back to the bike, you'll see the difference in bike speed and what that looks like. So Andrew's finishing up. He's going back down. He's got wall balls, boxing borders, and back to the bike. Let's talk about 20.3 and what we think it is, right? So, I don't know what it is, to be honest, but we can talk about it. Is the idea that, what kind of movements we have left? We have muscle ups, we have wall balls, we have some kind of heavy lift. If it wasn't for 20.1, I would be betting on, similar workout last year with the toes to bar, double unders, and cleans. Something similar with snatches, right? We did it a couple years ago. Actually, I didn't do it in the open because I didn't do the open that year. But chest to bars and snatches where the snatch weight kept increasing and the reps for the snatch kept going down and the chest to bar reps kept increasing. I would have bet on that being in the open. I just don't think, I'm kind of hesitant to say that 20.3 or that the heavy lift this year will be snatches, not just 20.3, but any of the 3 workouts is going to be a snatch. Only because we already snatched. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, okay, well, Jacob, we technically did ground overhead. It wasn't a snatch. And that's true. It was a ground overhead. It wasn't a snatch. But at the same time, Dave even said it in a video that if he wanted it in such a way that if you wanted to get a good score, you had to snatch. And so, verbatim, that's what he said. And when he talked about 20.1, what he wanted at 20.1 is he wanted the elite guys to snatch. So I imagine we probably won't see a snatch. I don't think we're ever going to see a max lift, like a max lift, to be honest, anymore. But I don't think we're going to see an ascending weight in snatch. So it doesn't leave a whole lot of other options. We already did a clean. Heavy cleans last year. We haven't done a clean and jerk in a long time. So you can see, I might see a clean and jerk. I could possibly see a back squat, a front squat. They did a front squat in the team series. To be honest, I could see a bench press. I think a bench press would be difficult to do, but it'd be interesting from my perspective. I think if you do see a bench press, though, I don't know, it's hard because if you take your butt off the bench, technically it's considered a no rep, and so that's a hard angle to see, and especially since, certain movements, like all the movements you see here on the screen, you can turn and give a profile view or turn it a certain way to let the camera see it, but anything on a rig sometimes is very difficult because the way if the rig's really long, it's hard to get that angle, and so it's hard to get that angle on a bench press if you have to do other things. And so, here's Andrew getting on at a 9:12. We'll see how long it takes him. So anyways, it might be hard for a bench press because the angle required to see, is his back coming off the bench? You have to check it every time, stuff like that. I don't know if it's going to be in the open because of that reason. But I can see a 1 rep max bench since it'd be very easy to see that. It's just one lift. Vice versa, if you had like a bunch of bench lifts or a bunch of like reps of bench you had to do, we had to watch every single rep. So I don't know what lift we're going to see in the open this year, or if I'm sure we'll see one, something heavy-ish. You can see a deadlift. You haven't seen a deadlift in a while. That'd be cool too. I mean, there's a lot of different options that I could definitely see them doing. All right, so Andy should be finishing up here. I think he finishes a little past 10, or a little past me, I'm sorry. I think he fell behind. If I got to the bike at 8:45 and he got there at 9:12, it means he's about 30 seconds behind me. And his 30 seconds can pretty much be guaranteed or pointed back to box jump overs. In a workout like this, a lot of box jump overs, if you're efficient at box jump overs, it really, really pays off quite a bit. Whereas his quads get really tight in box jump overs, and I think it just blew him up when it came time to do more. And there we go. That's it. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you want to watch a video similar to this, click right here. Other than that, have a great day, and we'll talk to you guys later. See ya!